Andrew,
Yeah, man. Respect.
welcome to the Music Hacks
Yeah,
Network,
man.
bro.
Yeah, man. God bless you, man. Thank you for having me here, man. It's a pleasure to be here, you know? Yeah, man. God bless, man.
Yes, bro, definitely. I could not wait for this live stream. Even though the time is a bit odd, you know. But I would like to quickly explain to our viewers and subscribers on YouTube that our presenter, Mr. Andrew Young, lives all the way on the other side of the world. He is in Europe, actually in England to be specific. So that is why we are live streaming at this early hour of the day. But nevertheless, Zoom is in a buzz. We have all of 11 persons on Zoom tuned in to listen to you, Andrew.
Trust me, I mean, it's a blessing, you know, and I'm happy for the people that are here, you know, the love and support. You know, whatever I do, you know, it will be a blessing unto them, you know, and to inspire others. Yeah.
Awesome. And let me also welcome the persons who are up early on YouTube. I am seeing one person in the chat so far, that is Pocket King. All right, bless up. All right, I know others are watching on YouTube as well, and they will be in the chat as soon as possible. But
That's right.
Andrew, yes, man. This is going to be a great occasion on the Music Hacks Network today as we try to learn more about you.
Yes,
right? So
definitely.
I am definitely gonna try to ask some questions now that the viewers and subscribers will not ask. I'm gonna leave the more simpler questions for them. All right. But normally I try to ask the presenters to give us a little personality update. You know, sometimes we see you guys on stage playing and we don't know you as a person. But who exactly is Andrew Young?
All right. Well, I'm Andrew Christopher Young. You know, I from Kingston, Jamaica. You know, born and raised in Kingston, and you know, I've been raised by my grandmother. I am a man that serves the Lord. I love God. You know, and one of the things for me is that I strive for excellence, and excellence is the key, you know, in whatever you do. And, you know, before I do what I'm doing, you know, I always seek the Lord before I launch out into where God is taking me. You know, I'm a musician that, you know, I try to raise a standard. And that's the thing that I learned, is that the standard is important to raise. You know, I try not to limit myself to where I'm at. You know, so when God give you a talent, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you expand on it and you build on it. So for me, you know, where I'm coming from is that my grandmother raised me. She was a principal, you know.
Whoa.
Yeah, man, she was a principal. Yeah, man, she used to
That
go.
must have been some strict
Yeah, trust me.
times growing up as a child.
Yeah, man, some strict times. But you know, the thing is, you know, it made me who I am today, you know, and she was the one that also encouraged me about the music, and I remember.
At what age was this?
Okay, all right. At what age?
Yeah.
At age I started learning piano first at age 8, and at
Oh,
11,
that's
yeah,
an early
start.
start.
Yeah, man, as an early start, and at 11, I started to play in church, and I remember my mother, she bought me a small keyboard, and I
Don't say
start.
Casio.
Well, I soon get to
All right.
that. Yeah, man. All right, she got me a Yamaha. That was a small one, and you know,
Okay.
I remember my first song that I learned was "Ode to Joy," and I played that with my one hand. And I remember I used to be on Colgate Cavity Fighters Club, and
Okay.
with Never Willoughby and
Yeah.
Pat Gooden, So I started off there, and they heard me doing stuff, and I remember I was going to Constant Spring Junior High, where teachers heard me and students heard me, started to play in devotions, and to play different songs, And then, I mean, I was in the youth orchestra at Church Covenant Moravian Youth Orchestra, where I studied with Major Joe Williams. He taught me the theory part of it. And I learned from another lady called Miss Bernice Hay. And she was teaching me classical music. So I did up to grade 5. And I did like my
Whoa.
ABRSM. So I did some of that as well. And then, the theory part, I remember I learned from Major Williams. And Major Williams was saying to me, used to give me a hard time. I remember one day he said, I'm going to have it very hard with you. You know what I did? I got to his class and I got to Miss Hayes' class. And she realized that I was going to 2 classes. And she said, look, you know what? You can't go to 2. You have to just go to 1. But for me, I just had that determination. I just got to 2 of them same way. So and when she helped
Okay.
with the theory, yeah, man. I when I got class now, first person in pick one, me. So
Okay.
so him asked me the questions. I'ma just answer all of them. And him said, well, look like me I forgot saying you got grade 1, you know. But I had the gift of music back then at that time, and I realized that, God has put something in me for a reason. So for me, I never allow nothing to stop me. Because you see the thing is you have to have a determination and a drive. And you have to know that
Right.
okay, this is what you're going to do.
Right. I'm happy you mentioned gift and talent there, but you also said that you had to learn the theory. How important is it for a musician to learn the theory? Because there are a lot of persons who are self-taught and they don't get the theoretical side of the music. But how important it is for us to learn the theory?
All right. It is very important to learn the theory because it helps you with your playing. It helps you with your reading. You understand? It's good that musicians must learn to read at some point. I mean, you can play by ear, which is good.
Man, it's
Yeah, yeah,
reading. Whoa,
yeah, man.
you're
You
rumpling
have,
a lot of feathers there.
yeah, yeah, man. For real, for real, for real. I mean, I just have to tell you the honest truth, right?
Yeah, man, true.
So reading is important. You understand? You have to know your notes. You know, the thing is, you don't know where God going to take you. Because ear is good. Because I mean, God has blessed me with ear, with good ears. He has blessed me with perfect pitch, so I can hear things and I can play things. But what I've learned is that you have to have a foundation in the music before you can go to the next level. So I advise musicians right now to, it's good to read. It's good to read. And I mean, like I say, you have some musicians, they probably can't read a note, but I guess God gifted them a certain way. But I mean, if you find where you have to read, read. Because I remember even here, I was playing in a big band, and it required reading. And you see, once them just drop that on you, you better can read it on the spot. You
You have to do
understand
it,
me?
right?
You have to do it. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it takes practice. Everything you do takes practice. You have to play skills, takes
Right.
practice. You have to listen to music on the record, takes practice. You understand? Sharpen your ears. You understand? I mean, not everybody have
Right.
perfect pitch. Some people have relative pitch. But what I've learned
Right.
is that the reading aspect is very important, because you don't know where God will take you in terms of, you know, the assignment that He has. So even one of the things I have learned in my journey is that I learn a bit of everything, and that will make you a complete musician. You understand me? It will make you a musician that is rounded. It makes you a musician that will listen wide. It makes you a musician that is very flexible. Say if you can flex. So you can't reach that point there where you feel like say, all right, you don't want to try this, you don't want to try that. Because you have some man now who them just want to stick to one thing and say, yeah, man, I can just rely upon my ears. Yeah, man, you can
Right.
get in a trouble for that, because in some aspects, when you go in some places, somebody who you don't know from Adams, go and just say, listen, these are the card charts. Are you read the notes? Can you read? What are you going to do? You understand? It's like last night I had a gig. It was a jazz gig. And the lady just come up and ask if you know that song. Just get the card chart, just read it and play. And
So,
that was an organ trio. You understand me? So one of the things I
right.
have learned is, reading is important. Know your notes. Understand your treble clef, your bass clef. You understand. Treble clef means right. Bass clef
Right.
means left. You understand? So one of the things, you have to know the symbols. You have to know the terms. To some degree. Because the terms, even when you're playing in band, let me tell you something, man. When you're playing in band, you have to understand the dynamics of how you play. So that is one of the things that I apply in my playing. Yeah.
Right. All right. So I know you are a well-established musician in England, or I'm not sure as to what extent in Europe. But let's look at how involved you were in Jamaica before we actually get into what you're doing in England right now.
All
All right.
right.
How involved were you in Jamaica?
All right. When I left, I was playing in St. Richard's Covenant Moravian Church first, playing in church there at as at the age of 11, and up till 15 I was still playing there, and I left and I went to St. Richard's Roman Catholic Church, where I started playing the piano,
Wow.
and then I moved from the piano and started playing the pipe organ. So the church paid my tuition, in terms of they see the talent and they say, you know what, we need another organist, because, I started playing that at 16, and I started to play in the Sunday service. And then before you know it, I played at weddings, played at funerals, and, develop on my organ skills to some level, so that I can be rounded.
All right.
I was active in school playing for a group called Quest. I went to
Quest.
Dunoon, yeah man, Dunoon Technical High School. So I was playing for the group.
Uh,
So I
what sort of activities was Quest involved? JCDC,
Yes, it was a
or did you
JC.
guys
Yeah man, it was a JC. Yeah
were you
man, it
guys
was.
involved in gospel concerts and stuff like that?
Yeah, went to festivals, and
Okay.
we got a trophy. We got silver medal and we came second in the island, and
Okay.
it was controlled by a lady called Miss Bridget Pancho. I thank her for the exposure, and I thank her for giving me that exposure to express my gifts and talents. And I also entered Tasty talent contest. I didn't win, but I got best dress, and I got yeah, man, best dress $7,000 and
Uh,
a dozen
Best
parties.
dress. Do you remember the outfit that you had on that time to get best dress?
Yeah, trust me, I had on a ash gray suit with a black turtleneck shirt and a chain, silver chain. I was about 17 at
Wow.
that time. Yeah, so it's
Jazz
about
look.
yeah, and then no, I was playing on the Casio keyboard. I know you don't want to hear about the Casio keyboard. You understand me?
No
But
man, no. The reason why I said it,
eh,
there are a lot of. The reason why I said Casio, I always say Casio to provoke my fellow keyboard friends that are on the Zoom, because these guys, once you say Casio,
yeah,
it
them
is as
run
if
from
you
it.
touch a bad nerve.
Yeah, me know, me know.
Yes. So I always do that.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I got best dress. I got $7,000. Thank God that I use it and pay my school fee and a dozen parties, so I can just eat and fill my belly. So yeah, but
Right.
after I left
All right,
high
hold
school,
on.
go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you there, Andrew. But Joy's asking Casio. I want you to tell Joy, who is in the chat, what is a Casio. She does not understand what is a Casio.
Oh, a Casio is a keyboard. Yeah, it's like any other keyboard. You understand? It's a basic keyboard. You have basic Yamahas, you have keyboards with different names. So I had one, the Casio CTK 500. At that time when I got it, it did wonders for me. So I went out and did gigs with it. When I was a teenager. Until after a while I outgrowed it. And, I graduated from Casio to Corgan
Right.
364.
Right. So it's a basic starter keyboard, Joy, that all keyboardists love to this day, and they cannot get it out of their system. All right. Yes. So Andrew, I know you want to go into your presentation, and I know these guys are anxiously waiting to hear you play. All
Yeah,
right.
that's fine.
So what about gospel bands or performance on stage? Were you involved in that while you were in
Yes,
Jamaica?
yes, yes, man. I was playing when I left high school. I'm happy you bring up that topic. I played for the evangelist Sandra Brooks. I played for Birthright at years after.
Whoa.
And yeah, with Stephen Samuels, he's now the pastor at Escarment New
Yes,
Testament
man.
Church of God. Yeah, and I've worked with Colleen Davis, and not just the gospel alone, but I've worked with Benji Myers, worked with the All Star Band in St.
Whoa.
Martin, and I've worked with some good musicians, and God has given me the exposure, and not going to say I've toured everywhere, but I've done my fair
You have been to a
share.
few places,
Yeah, man, I've done my fair share. You understand me?
right?
So that's one of
Just
the
tell us
things
some
I
of the
do.
places that you have actually been to.
All right. I went to like I said, I went to St. Martin's. I went to St. Vincent's. And I have done stuff with Carlene Davis. And in St. Martin's was an all-star band that I've played with Benji Myers, Cat Core, Tony Eruption Williams, and another great pianist from New York, Anna J. Alangums. But for the most part, most of my exposure, I got in Jamaica. So I did a lot of stuff, mostly in Jamaica. But some of the places I've done, I've been to like one and two of the Caribbean islands.
Okay. And where have you enjoyed the most? Which one of these places allow you to think, real deep that I want to get back to that place to perform?
All right. I would say in the All Star band in St. Martin's because, you know, working with Benjamin, he wasn't, I didn't just play for him, he was also a mentor and a teacher for me as well. He taught me about band playing. He taught me about how to play in a band, and he started me off on one keyboard. He said, "Listen, you're gonna have to just play one." And I remember back then, just playing lines and runs, and him say, "Yeah, man, you can do all of that, but more you have to learn to play it steady, And he taught me about chord voicings and teach me how to voice my chords. So like even in that segment, sometimes you have some man them want to play the biggest chords, but you don't have to. You can play like the simplest chords, and it depends on how you voice it and how you spread it, and it sounds colorful. So I always learn is that you use what you is not what you have, is how you use what you have. Sometimes you can use simple progressions, and when you use simple progressions, you know, you can use it and it becomes colorful. But sometimes if you use too much stuff when you play, then you can become muddy. And I guess it's about being intelligent in what you play and your understanding. You know, like I said, many guys think say, all right, you have to play a whole heap of chops for be wicked. Not necessarily. I believe what you need to do is at times you have to balance. So when you're playing, you can
Right.
remember, there's a difference between playing solo and playing in a band. When you're playing in a band, whatever music you play the music and do justice to it. So that is what I learned as a
Awesome.
musician.
Yes. Let's now shift the focus to England. You migrated a couple of years. How long have you been living now in England?
All right, I've been living in England from 2011, and my first opportunity I got with an African church. So, that was new to me. So, going into the African
Oh,
church, you will learn African music. But thank God for the
that's a
ears.
different
That's what I'm
that
saying.
different kettle of fish.
So I thank God for the ears, and the gift that He has given me to listen to that capacity. So for me, I went there and I learned African music, and I eventually ended up playing for an African artist, and I had to learn the rhythmic part of African music. And I remember
Right.
I played at a concert, and there was a singer that was singing. His name is Sonny Badu. He's now a well-established
Yes, I think I know
gospel
that guy.
singer.
Yeah.
And I remember I played for him that night before he was established, and he was looking around and he was saying, "Is this guy an African musician?" And they said, "No, he's a Jamaican musician." And everybody was surprised because at that, 'cause for me, I can shift. I can shift
Right.
from just playing all of the fancy stuff to just playing what the music requires. Because what the music,
Just give us about 30 seconds of what that sounds like. The
all right,
African stuff. 30
yeah,
seconds.
I'll try and all right,
Wow. Wow.
and
Wow.
but this the thing is, that's like the basic. So they have more intricate bass lines when it come on to African music, even in South Africa, if you go deep into that kind of music. All right, you see, if you listen, for example, a lot of music that we're hearing today, it comes from Africa. So, for example, Latin music and African music is the same thing. Not really the same thing, but it's similar. You understand?
Similar.
So, yeah, man. So if I'm going to play Latin, so that is like Montuno. You understand me? But what you notice is that when it comes on to Latin, Cuban music, Afro-Cuban, Afro-Cuban and African music, are similar. So you see, if you
But
listen, if you notice the word Afro-Cuban and Africa, similar names. Afro,
right.
you understand me? Africa, you understand? Yeah.
So is the organ widely used in African? I know this is your style and you play the organ, but is it a cultural thing that the organ is widely used in
I
African
think now they're
music?
using it. I don't think back then they were using those
Pull
things.
up your mic some more, Andrew.
Or pull it up. All right, let me pull it up. All
Towards
right.
it. Yes.
Yeah, is that
Come
better now?
closer.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, man. All right. The thing is, in South Africa, they didn't use those kind of equipment until even in the current times. You understand? You see, organ, like the B3 now, I'm going to go into the Hammond. The Hammond was originated by a guy called Lawrence Hammonds and John Hannard from 1933. The Hammond instrument, the organ, was used in the Pentecostal churches, those Church of God churches, even in America, in Chicago, anywhere in the States, you understand? So what happened now is that you have musicians who come, right? And like jazz musicians come and use a Hammond and play jazz on it. So it makes that unique sound. You understand? Gospel has its place, and all styles of music have its place. But the thing with the Hammond instrument is that you can use it like a band, like you're playing in a band. I mean, if you don't have a bass player, then you play the bass in your left hand, or you play the foot pedals with your foot. You understand me? So the Hammond can be used in various ways, and it depends on the stops that you use, So the Hammond has 38 drawbars, So there's two main ones. Those are for the bass pedals. You understand? And then you have other stops that you can use, like the percussion stops. You can use the effects on the side of the organ. Because the organ that I have is a Viscount Legend. Plus I have another one called Hammond SK. But today I just decided to use the Viscount Legend because of the two manuals. So that's more easier to use, more than just the one manual. come back.
Andrew. I tell you, brother, I do apologize for that,
Nah,
guys.
man. These things happen, man. These things happen. Trust me, the devil can't win, you know. He might
No,
try.
man.
Yeah, man.
All right, I got kicked off the network there for a while, but we are back.
Yes, man.
All right, so Andrew, what I'm going to ask you to do is to tell us some of the persons that you have actually been working with in England, and then we go
Yes.
straight into our presentation.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. The persons I've worked with, I've worked with an African, a gospel artist, Kingsley Boadi, and that was good exposure for me. I've worked with another African jazz musician. His name is Ben Audo. I've worked with Kunle Ayo. He's a guitarist that lives in South Africa, but he's Nigerian. I've worked with Gary Crosby. He's the nephew of Ernest Ranglin. He's a double bass player, and I've worked with the Vince Dunn Orchestra, the big band, so that was good exposure for me. Also, I've worked with Kaya Brown. I've worked with other people like Carl Thompson. And then eventually, for me, I created my own band. I started off as the Spirit Fingers organ trio with Tommy Riman and Charlie Hutchinson, and after that, they moved on, did their own thing, and I came up with this band now called the ACY Organ Trio. So the names of the guys are Dave Chamberlain and Eric Ford, and we did quite one and two shows. We did one and two shows. Even this year, did a lot of rehearsals. I've been at Jazz Cafe. I've played for Myrna here as well. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. How can we find you on social media, Andrew?
All right, you can go on YouTube and you can subscribe to my videos because I have videos on YouTube that you'll hear some of the stuff that I'm doing. Not just organ. I did keyboard stuff, but you'll find me on YouTube. So you can type Andrew Young and you'll see it on YouTube, and you can subscribe and comment.
Definitely. All right, Andrew. I know you brought an interesting topic for us this morning. All right, so I'm going to ask you to state your topic, and then we have to cut it a bit short. So we're going to ask you just to do a 10-minute concept so that we can actually get our viewers and subscribers engaged in the Q&A, because I know they are a bit anxious to ask you some of these questions. So your topic is how to be a total musician.
Yeah, a
and how
complete
to
musician.
master your craft.
Master your craft, yeah.
Right.
Understand the instrument and master your
let's-
craft.
All right, let's get into that then.
All right, sure, man. All right, guys. The song that I played early on is called "Keep the Flow in 5." So I did a lot of things. For example, I've played. My left hand was playing bass, and my right hand was playing the. My right hand was playing phrases, and in the verse, I've played like a melody, to accompany the bass in my left hand. And after I've done all of that, I went to the bridge and did something else, other phrases, and then I came back to the melody, so there's a lot of things that's going on in the tune. So after I went there, I started playing the solos, so one of the things I try to do is to tell a story. So, for example, when I'm playing in my left hand, I'm playing the bass. So it would go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what happens a while ago is, I started off with the bass and then started off with phrases, so everything combined together and connects together. So what I was doing is telling a story. So whenever I came up with a piece or whatever piece that you're going to play, always remember it's like a storyline. You have to tell the story. And I use different modes as well. So, what I was using, I use a lot of blues scales. Everybody know the blues scales. That's the blues scales. I'd use some whole tone scales. The whole, you have like the B whole tone. So that's B whole tone. I did some diminished scales as well. So whenever I play, whenever I play, I tend not to think so much on the concept so much, meaning that I don't try to think about the solos. What I try to do is just let it flow. And that's why I came up with the song, Keeping the Flow in 5. So the song means, whatever you do in life, is just let it flow. Try not to think about anything too much. Just do it. So I'm going to even talk about even jazz music. Jazz music is another kind of music that, it's telling the story. So even when you're playing jazz, at the end of the day, it comes with all sort of stuff, different solos, different time signatures, that's where even the metric stuff comes in as well, so, you have 4/4 jazz, you have jazz in 7/8, you have jazz in 12/8, you have all different kind of stuff out there, but I listen to some of those kind of stuff and put it into my playing and make it something unique.
Awesome, 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 awesome work there, Andrew.
All right, sir.
Man, man, oh man. I was in my chair rocking.
We say, all right, sir. Go and rock the
Yes,
Titanic.
man. Oh my God. I wish I can sit down in an audience one of these days and listen you play that organ.
Yeah, man,
All right?
trust me. We will meet one of these days. Well, me meet you already, so we know
Well,
which path to find you.
definitely. All right. And it's kind of a bit, I don't know what to say, but doing these live shows over the internet now in the pandemic, is getting me excited that I want to go where the musicians are in the future to do these interviews. And I think that is our plan for the future on the Music Hacks Network. So
Yes,
very soon
yes.
you will see us over there
Yeah,
in England.
you're really doing an excellent job. I mean, one of the things I've learned is always have a vision. I always say to people, when God give you a vision, first thing that will happen, be careful who you share vision with. Don't share your vision with everybody out there, because some people, they will just throw cold water on your vision.
Yes,
And
man.
you see, it's like back into the in the Bible where they talk about Joseph. Joseph told his brothers a dream, and they sold him into slavery. But not knowing that that was his purpose. So his purpose was to become governor of Egypt. So sometimes things happen, or people might come with certain things against you. The
Right.
thing is, they are pushing you into destiny. And let me tell you something. Thank God for the naysayers. I thank God for the negative people. Sometimes you thank God for some people who are rejecting you, because some people, they are not made for the next season. So your show has really done a lot for musicians in Jamaica, and I know that all over the world you're going to even dominate music hacks. So I'm just saying to you, also keep up the good work and well done to what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Well received. Well received. All right. And I will definitely try my best. All right. Let's bring the audience now into the mix. All right. We have a lot of persons on Zoom right now, and I know these guys are gonna talk to us. I am asking the guys on Zoom, once you're going to speak, please turn on your video and your audio. I can understand if you're in a place that you cannot turn on your video, but we're gonna try our best. All right, so we have Daniel up first, and this is our, for those persons who are joining us for the first time, now is a Q&A where we get the audience involved. Welcome to the persons on YouTube as well. If you're there on YouTube for the first time, please hit that subscribe icon. All right, hit that subscribe icon. Make sure you like this video so people can see Andrew all over the world. All right, and leave a comment as well. All right, let's take Daniel first, Daniel Edwards, and then we're gonna take Samuel. All right,
Yes,
let's
Daniel,
go,
what go on,
Daniel.
man? How you do?
I'm good, so I never intend to talk.
Yeah,
I
man.
just
I'll
turn
to you
on
have
my
your ass,
camera.
man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and blessings everybody. Kiss big up yourself.
All right, bless up, Daniel.
Yeah, my wife is on the line
Yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Oh, hi. So I'm at that stretch right now, so I can't talk so loud.
Go
Um,
ahead.
but so I don't know if I asked you this question. Do you play any other instrument other than the organ and the keyboard? I don't remember asking.
All right. I really play piano, keyboard, and organ. I used to fool around the drum, but I realized that sure, and I might think that, But I mean,
No, you're calling.
yeah, I never mind calling. I mean, back then I used to play drums. I mean, I think I had the gift for it, and I could hold some time in and roll. But one of the things, I'm going to give you a scenario. I remember I was playing at church, and I was just rolling all over the place. And I remember one day a guy who was a drummer, he was also an engineer, he said to me, Andrew, you roll too much, and he didn't say it out loud, but I felt bad about it. But I realized that it it was a wake-up call, because for me, you have drummers out there, them just roll up and down to become like a rolling calf.
Yeah.
You can't roll up and down. It's like any other instrument that you learn, Daniel, you have to understand
Yeah.
the accuracy, the techniques. You understand me? You have to
Yeah.
understand, the whole concepts of the instrument. So when you're playing the
Mhm.
instrument, like I said, you don't just think about chops, because the first thing musicians go on them instrument, them just a think about chops. You can't just chop everything. This is
Yes.
not a Ninja Turtle show. So yeah, so at the end yeah, so what I'm saying is that you have your instrument, you know your instrument. I know you're a keyboard player. I mean, it's a privilege to mentor you, and to pour into your
Mhm.
life in terms of a
Yeah.
musician. And I see how God has really used you, in a mighty way. But I'm always encouraging you that just play, understand your instrument, play what's needed on the
Yeah.
instrument, whether it's the drum, the keyboards, don't jump from one thing to the next thing. Always try to master one first. I mean,
Mhm.
like I say, I don't play no other instrument but those three. you know Maybe until such time,
Okay.
who knows
Mhm.
what God will say, what I should do next. But
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
I've learned is, master your instrument and let the instrument become a part of you understand?
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yes, man. All
Bless up,
right.
Daniel.
So I have to leave, guys. So bless up, bless up.
All
Chris,
right, Daniel,
next week
God bless you,
Thursday,
man.
the music
Yeah,
acts
man. Next
again.
week, Thursday. See you Thursday,
Yeah,
Daniel.
man.
All right, let's take Samuel. Samuel has been here from Soundcheck. Bless up, Samuel.
Hey, bless up, brother. Bless up, bless up.
Yeah, man, Dr.
Good morning,
Jones.
everyone. I don't where we are in the
Oh,
world, what
Dr.
time is it?
Jones.
Yes, man.
It's a blessing to be on this. And brother Andrew, I have a question for you. So, based on this playing secular music and gospel music, what are some of the challenges you had as a musician while doing both, and what's the difference with both?
All right. That's a very controversial question. The thing is, all right, God made music. You understand me? And, you know, God made Satan was known as Lucifer when he was back in heaven. He was son of the morning. And, because of his arrogance, God turned him out of heaven. And then, that's where the darkness comes in. All right, gospel and secular music, two different things. Like I said, music is not bad out there. Is the persons who are playing the music. You understand? If they have a certain spirit at the end of the day, then that will connect with the music. For example, like rap music, you know, and heavy metal music. Not all rap music, I listen to. Or jazz fusion music or jazz music, because some of them out there have darkness. You understand me? I mean, with gospel, it all depends, You understand me? So for me, it's about being selective, of what you're doing. So as a musician, as a jazz musician, as a musician that's rounded, I listen to different things, but I will encourage any musician that's listening to music, make sure, be careful, because some things can transfer to you without even you realizing. Yeah.
Because, um, with COVID, right? COVID-19, because I realized like majority of my friends, whether
Mm-hmm.
within and out of the churches, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's not much gigs going on because of the crowd factor and the numbers of people, stuff like that, so finances be. So how does COVID affect you as a musician also? How is it
Um,
for you?
you know, it only affect you if you want it to affect you. You understand me? I mean, let me tell you something about myself. Um, the first thing you must understand is to have a relationship with God. It only affect people if they're not in the presence of the Lord. You know, everything is a choice that you make. And the choices that we make, it will affect our growth, it will affect our destiny, it will affect our purpose. So it didn't affect me. So when I hear it, I remember when I was playing my last gig at a place called Hampstead Jazz Club. You know, I heard about this lockdown. And I decided that, listen, man, if they're going to lock down, I'm going to lock in. Make sure when you lock in into the word of God, lock in into your gifts and talents and your practice. All right, I hear them talk this thing again about social distancing. You see, if you're going social distance yourself from negative people, social distance yourself from the enemy. Because those and people who are not going to make your life any better. So that is one of the things I learned, you know, during my experiences after lockdown. You know, I did a lot of practice. You know, I practiced my skills. I came up with different compositions. You know, I listen to my music. And some musicians might fret and say, boy, you know, I don't know how this is going to work out, you know, because the place locked down. Now, man, it can work out if you choose to make it work out for you. And this is why I mean, I understand some people, you know, them allow this thing for affect them. And you see, even in Christianity, I see some people say, man, them are Christian and them serve God. But hear me now. You can't say you serve God and you don't have no faith, because faith without works is dead. You understand me? So what I've learned is that during lockdown, I have discovered a lot about myself. I grow in God more. Stay in the word. You understand? I will say to musicians now. Some musicians might not want to hear this, but this is the truth now, you know. As a musician, stay in the word. You fast. I fast and pray and seek the Lord. And, you know, I've seen some things happen supernaturally for me as a musician. God just blessed me with equipment that I didn't even expect. But because when you're in the presence of the Lord is a place where you're going to seek him. And once you seek him, you shall find. So the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Yeah.
Seems as if the host is probably trying to rejoin.
Yeah, I'm gone again.
I'm just wondering if you could play like His Blood Will Carry Me All the Way, so we can hear you on it and the organ.
Yeah, let me try. Let me see if I probably can play the chorus.
Andrew.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, brother. Praise the
Yes,
Lord.
I. Yes, I. Oh boy. This we're listening to the performance of Mr. Andrew Young, live and direct out of England, Europe. And if you're just waking up, I hope you are waking up to these exciting chords and licks and stuff from the organ of our great jazz fusion organist, Andrew Young. All right. We're gonna take just a few more questions, Andrew.
That's fine, man. Go
Guys,
ahead, man.
I am asking you please to put your hands up, man, and don't be shy. We want to have a few more interactive questions with Andrew before we close the live stream. Let me double check YouTube to see if there's any question there. No, I'm not seeing any questions. But Andrew, how do you practice? All right, I wanted to tell the musician how you approach your practice. And after that, we're going to take Jermaine Francis, who is waiting on Zoom.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. All right. First thing I'll say, everybody have different ways of practicing. Back then, I've practiced like 5 hours a day. Back then, I used to do that. I mean, I will still do practice, but also for me, listening is a form of practice. You know, you don't just practice with your hands alone. You also practice with your ears because your ears are in tune to what you listen. So what you listen will connect with your hands when you play. So your hands and your ears and your eyes also, you know, reading the music is a form of practicing as well. So what I do, you know, I mix up, it's a mixture of everything that I do when I play. You know, so if I'm when the practice, there was a time I used to just like rush my skills, and I realized that your techniques just get muddy and awkward. You know, the first thing before you play anything else is practice your skills very slow. You know, if you practice fast, I mean, you're going to have problems because then what happened, your fingers going to jumble up and then you start missing. And it happens to the best of us because you see, for me, practice makes perfect. And one of the things that I learned is burn the midnight oil. You know, I tell musicians this. I said, look here, man. Yeah, everybody want to see a success as a musician, but they don't want to burn the midnight oil. You understand? It's like anything. If you go to the gym, you know, or if you're going to do anything out there, you have to put in the work. So what I do, I still dedicate myself to my music in that way where I put in enough work at the end of the day. And there are times when I don't really practice as much. And then I will just go on the instrument and just playing like I'm practicing. But what I've learned, whether you're a prodigy or, you know, one of those geniuses out there, you know, even them, they practice. You understand me? There are some people who might not practice as hard as some because, you know, there are some God-given musicians out there who one day the Lord will just anoint them and they just touch, God touch their hands and they start play. But at the same time, they need guidance, you know, and you need people who will nurture you in other aspects of where He wants to take you musically. So as a musician, I try to, for me, run your own race. That's first thing you need to learn. Stop trying to compete and operate as if, okay, everybody's, oh, I'm better than this musician. And, you know, you can't play like this musician. because him a play on another level more than you. No, don't do that, because what you're doing, you're belittling other musicians at the end of the day and allowing them to feel like they're not worth nothing. And you know what I learned is that for me, when I go around musicians, God has given me this gift where that I encourage and empower. So it's a level of empowerment. So you have to empower others and
Right?
build them up, And I remember you said one time you're also a teacher, and working with other people is that it requires patience. So even practicing what I'm practicing, it requires a lot of patience. And you see, the patience, the man always say patience is a virtue. So Rome wasn't built in a day. And what I've learned is that as a musician, you take your time and do your thing, because one day you'll get there. I mean, I wasn't know where I was one time, I'm going to be honest with you. You understand me? I mean, I wasn't the most confident person. Some people might know of that. But with the presence of God upon my life, and after a while, I gave my life to Christ. That is when, years after, I've discovered myself and discovered that confidence through Christ Jesus. So before you start practice, what's the most important thing is, before the skills, to go into the Bible, read the word of God, and pray. When you pray, believe you me, when you practice, you're going to see a difference, because one, you put God first in the equation. And when you put God in the equation, then God will honor your commitment. He will honor your obedience, because that's one thing I've learned. Because I remember times I didn't put God in the equation, and I find myself not doing what I'm supposed to do properly on my instrument. But I've learned over a period of time, when I practice Christ first in the vessel, and then anything else will come after.
Awesome. Sound words there, Sir Young. All right. There's a question in the chat from Mrs. Young, and it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, that's my wife,
Yeah, man.
Hey, how are you, babes? Are you all right? Welcome.
All right. Well, let us say Jermaine, and then we go to, and then G Taylor, and then we take that question from your wife, Jermaine.
Yeah, man. What's up? What's up, Andrew?
Oh, God bless you, man. God bless you, my brother.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Yeah, man, boy. I listen to you. I feel like I listen to you all day, especially when it comes to the God part. I love that, man. But another thing I realize with you, I want to ask you, how you get to that point in your music in terms of the way you play. I realize when you're playing like melodies, you use a lot of licks, but I can still understand what you're doing in terms of, the melody. I can recognize the song that you play, but you're using a lot of licks. Not many musicians have that kind of gift, because sometimes some musicians play melodies and you're struggling to find out where they're at. But I realize even though you're playing a lot of licks and stuff, I still can, hear where you're at with the melodies. So I just want to ask you,
yeah, man.
What brings you to that point,
Yeah, man. Let's hope I can answer that one. All right. Yeah. All right. For me, I did my studies with Marjorie Wiley first, and before even Benjamin's. And one of the things, I used to play a lot of things even beyond myself. And I remember when I met her, she said to me, come to school, come up to the Philip Sherlock and do some classes with me. And I was just playing stuff. And she said to me, look, you're playing some things that's way bigger than yourself, but listen, man, go back to square one. One of the things she said to me, we're going to start off with the blues. So, the blues requires the dominant sevenths. So, this is an F7th, that's G7th, that's F sharp 7th, A flat 7th. So, we go right back there. So So, and then she used to say to me, you know, there are so many keyboard players. Them run galo, they run up and down over the keyboard and not play it simple. All right, in jazz music, now I'm going to explain that concept. When you play jazz, the first thing is the melody that's important. Don't think about the
Yeah.
licks yet, because you see what happened now when you start thinking about the licks, then you don't have a story. But everything in the music, like in jazz music, it connects. So the melody connect, then the solos then connect. So what I've learned, even today when you hear me play, all right, there are times when I just play a melody, and then after the melody, I went into the bridge of the tune. That's the tune called Keep the Flow in 5. And then I went into the bridge and I probably play like a little phrase right there. And then after the bridge, I came back into the melody. And then after the melody, now then you can start. But when you start doing a solo, one of the things that Miss Wiley taught me, and even Benjamin has taught me, don't just run up and down like that. Because after a while, you start to peak. And when you start to peak now, by the time if you do another song, you come back with the same thing again. And it happens to the best of us, because
Right.
I've listened to Chick Corea and Stanley Clark. I got some of my influence from those guys as well. I listened to organ players, Jimmy Smith, Don Pattison, Joey DeFrancesco. I understand what they're doing. And even with organ playing, you see plenty guys not understand this. Them things that sure, I just chops. Them just a chop, 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 chop everywhere. But what they do, especially even Joey DeFrancesco and others, they play the melody with the bass line. Or there's a style in jazz that I hear them play called squabble, where you roll your hands a certain way, you understand? But you hear the melody. So no matter what they do, the melody of a song is important. And I'm still learning at the end of this. I'm not going to say, boy, I have everything all together. But when you're going out, you see, the longer you practice and the longer you put yourself in that zone, one advice I would say to you is learn melody first, and after the melody, then you combine with your licks. So your licks at the end of the day, must make sense as well. You
Yeah.
understand? There's no such right way or wrong way of playing things. I hear I think it was Marcus Miller said something like that. But what I've learned is that when it comes on, even Marcus Miller, he's a perfect example. Marcus Miller, there was a album called I'm not sure what it was, but he plays a lot of melodies, and after the melodies, then him can do him slap and pop. I like bass player as well, so more time when I play even keyboard, because I'm also a keyboard player, I'll play like the slap and pop bass, and play like a Jacko vibes or Victor vibes. I can do all of them kind of stuff. But all of those kind of stuff, if you don't understand the melody, then the music will just fall down.
All right, so blessings, man.
Yeah, man.
And
God
I
bless you,
really
man.
enjoyed the whole interview and presentation,
Yeah, man. God bless you, my brother, man.
All right.
Have a
Yeah, man.
blessed
All
day.
right.
Bless up, Biggie.
Yeah, man. Bless up, man.
Guys, I have to tell you this public. Jermaine Biggie Francis, this guy is like my right hand. All right. Bless up yourself, Biggie. All right. We have G Taylor, and I think Mr. Tyrone is now on Zoom. I know he's gonna talk to you after, but let us take G Taylor first, and then we have Tyrone. G Taylor.
Greetings, friends. Greetings, Sister Andrew.
Yes, GT, man. Yeah, welcome again.
Yeah, we have met. He has showed me many things. I've done practice with him, and it's been a blessing. I have a few questions. I'll just lay them out, and perhaps you'll just, whatever you can share to be a blessing.
That's fine.
The first one, the the 5-beat fusion. I think because of my overuse of 4 beats, it's still taking me a little while to grasp the 5 beat. I don't know if you could share a tip, to understand it.
Uh,
Yes, go ahead.
all right. The thing is, I never used to get it at once. Is when I came to the UK, I had a friend who is a great drummer. His name is Stanley Ohios, and he introduced me to fusion. You know, so most of my times when I used to play, I used to play just strictly four. And when I used to hear him play drums, I used to say, "Wow, you know what? This sounds interesting." And if you don't mind sharp, it might sound off to you, but it's not really off. And that captivated me in terms of learning fusion, like the metric. And I wouldn't say I've got it perfect, but I try to get like the basic fundamentals of what it is about. You understand? So what I do is I don't just listen to keyboard players and alone and organists and pianists. I listen to even drummers, especially because the drum is very rhythmic. So one of the persons that I've listened to was Dave Weckl and Simon Phillips. They have a new album out called Protocol 4. And that's where I understood even about fusion, you understand, and odd time stuff. If even Chicoria, I mean, there are times when, he doesn't play all of those odd time stuff all the time. There's a song that he plays called Got a Match. That's it, that's in straight fours. You understand me? But then some musicians will come, and what they do is take it to another level. I guess at the end of the day, everything that you do, so if you want to do something like that, it comes with practice. Like I said, it's about listening and knowing where the beat is. And sometimes in the beat, when they're playing fusion, they might be doing some fills or some runs. There's another great drummer, but this drummer is very awesome. He's from Australia, but he's in Los Angeles. His name is Virgil Donati. He's in some heavy rock, jazz fusion stuff. You understand? So what I do is that I take what I need to take and make it my own, and the more you listen and practice is the more it will become a part of you. But you have to have good timing. So what I will always encourage people, after you master the 4/4, then you can move from 5, or you can go to 7 or 6. It depends on it. I guess for me, it's about making it interesting. Yeah.
I see. Wow.
Mhm.
And another thing I admire is the fact that even though you're a well-accomplished musician, you know, allow it to fatten your head, and it keeps you're really grounded,
Mhm.
and so I just thought of asking. Sometime I realized that um, many musicians start in the church, and after a while they may even play in the church now and then, but they don't really have a church home. I
Mhm.
don't know how you would advise them along that line.
Yeah. Sometimes, to be honest with you, I know out there musicians have to hustle and make a money. For me, I made a decision that I didn't want to go out there too deep, even though the call of God on my life is that He sent me into the marketplace to minister to people through the music that I play. And what I've learned is that don't run down the world. You see, many guys, for them, is about making the money. You know, if you seek God, He will provide. And some musicians might not understand those things because for them, they feel like, say, you know what? You know, I want to make a door there. So, and there was one time, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll confess it. I used to think that way, you know, I want to just make money. Back then, you want to make a money. Not that I didn't practice my skill set as I practice, but then again, it became a toll on me where you're just thinking about the money, but you're not mastering the craft and you're not seeking God. So, seeking the presence of the Lord is very important. I think I've mentioned something like that early on, where I seek the presence of the Lord and be very selective, you know. And I would advise musicians, you have to be careful, you have to be selective of the opportunities that come. Not every gig out there, you know, you see and you just take it like that. There's a thing called wisdom, you know. It's like Solomon. One of the things that God's asked Solomon, what is it that you want me to bless you with? Solomon never said riches, you know. Solomon says, grant me wisdom. And when God granted him wisdom, you know, Solomon got rich. God gave him the riches. So if you seek ye first the kingdom of God in your life as a musician, all these things will be added unto you. And it doesn't mean that you're going to sit down and say, you know what, don't work for it. Because I believe that we don't want to be religious at the same time or over spiritual of everything. But you have to put in the work, put in the practice, you know, seek God. And once you do all of those things, everything will combine together and you'll become a successful and accomplished musician.
I see. Oh, good stuff, man. Thanks much.
Bless up, GT.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, guys. Before I move on to Tyrone, I realize I'm gonna make an appeal, Andrew. I know I'm seeing a lot of English participants on Zoom. I don't know if you guys have already subscribed to the Music Hacks Network. If you have not subscribed as yet, please go over to YouTube. You see, I'm trying to follow you, Andrew. I never wanted to do this. So
No, man, do your thing, man. Trust me, you're
yeah,
doing a good job, man. Continue doing what you're doing. This makes
I'm gonna
sense.
follow your lead, sir. So I'm gonna ask all the persons who I'm seeing for the first time on Zoom, if you have not subscribed to this network, please go over to YouTube and hit that subscribe icon and allow the Music Hacks Network to be seen over there in England. And also, please share the video so that we can sort of extend this network. All right, and make sure you like Andrew's video. I want to see 1,000 likes on this video today. All right. Thank you very much for doing that. And also the persons who are not on Zoom, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe icon as well. Thank you very much. All right. Let us take this question. Well, Tyrone is busy somewhere. Tyrone, are you still there? Yes, sir, Tyrone. Welcome to the Music Hacks Network.
Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
I'm not
Good
too
morning.
bad, thank you.
All right. It's no morning in Jamaica, but it's afternoon in England. Good. Whichever
right
one
there.
works for you.
Pardon me?
I said, whichever one works for you. Welcome to the Music Hacks Network.
It all works for me because we're all family.
All right. Bless. All right. You can have your minutes talk with Andrew.
Well,
Yeah.
Andrew, hello
Well,
there.
go on, sir. How are you, man? Long time, you know.
I'm good. How are you?
Why am I about, man? Just giving God the praise, man, and just stay in the presence, you know?
Good. God bless. You know, I just wanted to say that I've known yourself and your wife for a little while, as my wife and your wife are very good friends. And I must say that we've had conversations especially when I first got to know you,
Mhm.
and the humbleness that you've shown me, and your outlook in terms of your Godspeed was quite evident. But what was the most surprising thing was when you invited myself and my wife to a show. So I said to my wife, Sharon, I said, the show, what kind of shows Andrew talking about? And little did I know, or little did that I didn't know, that you was a musician. Well, I never knew. And the evening that we spent up there near Kennington was absolutely electrifying. And it was even more electrifying for someone that I so-called knew, but they were so humble, because if it was me, I would have been quite boastful to say, well, listen, I'm this great musician, look at me, watch me. You didn't say a word about your musical talents, but to see you perform on that evening was absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Give thanks,
And,
my brother, man. Appreciate it.
And I was so honored that I actually asked you to play at my brother's funeral. And trust me, I'll never forget that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that little story about the humbleness, the talent, which in our community we have in abundance, but it's so important that we do not lead by our boastfulness. We lead with our humbleness, and you are a very humble man, very humble, and I'm God blessed to actually call you a friend. And now I can actually introduce you as a friend and a great musician.
God bless you, Sir Tyrone, man. Appreciate
Big
it.
up to you, big up to you, and big up to the forum, because I'm not a Zoom person, so that's why I was there fiddling, wondering what was going on. I didn't really have a question. I just like to just put my little 10 pence spin in there. But now, big up to you and the forum. We need to share our talents and our experiences, and each one can teach one. So yeah,
Yes,
big
sir.
up.
Glory, man.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, man.
Hallelujah.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Tyrone.
Yeah, man. God bless Tyrone. Thank you a lot,
All right.
man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We are on YouTube as Music Hacks Network. You can find us there. All right. All right. I am not seeing any more question on Zoom yet. So what we're gonna do, I think we have about 3 minutes to get out of here, Andrew. So the final question is from your wife, Mrs. Young. All right. let me find her question.
Yeah. I know she's just
asked-
thinking. She's thinking what she's going to say. Ask me.
Right. No, her question is already in the chat. Oh,
Oh.
all right. She's here.
Yeah.
I think you want to ask him yourself, Mrs. Young. I am not going to read it for you. Please turn on back your camera. Where's she? All right. Go ahead. Turn.
I did put it in the chat because I didn't plan to come on. No, the question was just to ask what advice you have for the spouses of musicians.
Spouses of musicians, continue to pray for them. And I know that we as musicians, sometimes our work becomes challenging. And what I've learned is, opportunities will come at times that I've seen musicians gone overseas, and they go on tour, and sometimes for long periods of time. It can affect your marriage in some ways. I mean, it doesn't have to affect your marriage, because you have to have a mutual understanding and a relationship with God. So I guess if a woman or a man is married to a musician, the first thing, you have to have a discussion first about the offers and the opportunities that will come So if the offers and the opportunities that come, you first have to have a discussion. You don't just get up and do things like that. So what I've learned in this season is, you pray for your spouse, that whatever offers come, it will not affect the marriage. It will not affect, certain things in the marriage. Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Are you satisfied, Mrs. Young, with that answer?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, because I know if you're not satisfied with that, you're in trouble after we leave. All right, bless up. All right, I'm just having a little bit of fun there. Good job, guys. All right, that was the Young's family, blessed family. God bless your family, guys. All right, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
We are out of time for this live stream, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank you very, very much on the behalf of the Music Hacks team.
Mm-hmm.
You have made yourself available, and we have been planning this live stream for quite a while now.
Yes.
And let me say that it was a success.
Yeah, man. To God be the glory, man. Great things you have done. Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry that I was not able to show your screen, but definitely I am going to arrange that you will do some tutorials where the guys can see your organ screen, and we're going to post those on the channel. All right. So guys who wanted to see that, I do apologize for that, but we will make amends for that. All right, guys. So you have been tuned into the Music Hacks Network. You can find us on YouTube. Once you go to YouTube and you search Music Hacks Network, make sure you type in Music Hacks Network, and then you will see our page. And please subscribe, man. Allow us to grow. Give us a chance. All right. I know we are predominantly Jamaican musicians now, but we are trying to reach everyone, and that is how we are going to spread our wings. So bless up, guys, and we will definitely see you at another time. Andrew, bless up.
Yeah, man. God bless you again, man, and all the best, my brother. Take care.
All right, and Sharon is saying that they were blessed with the ministry of God in the place also. All right, and that is a great note.